Borshch lovers of the world, unite. I shall introduce you to the Queen of Borshch right here in downtown Kyiv.
Alright, so it's not just going to be the recipe of the Ukrainian borscht, it's going to be like masterclass for the Americans how to cook borscht.
That would be me.
Yes.
I thought I was American Tatar.
We know there is a crisis in America now, and everybody is trying to save on food also. And in Ukraine, we have the saying that the cheap as a borscht.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So it means you don't need so much money to cook the borscht.
And especially if it comes from Grandma's garden.
Exactly. But it will last for a week, and the longer it stays, the better it becomes.
Oh, nice.
Yes. But now it's also
like a good woman or good vodka?
Like a good man.
Good American men pay attention.
Should we say hi to our kids, or we don't want to embarrass them? All right. So what do you think about this quantity of products? Does it look like too much, or it's not too much? Does it scare you that so many?
It's the American bachelor's simple dream of cooking great food easily. So pay attention, boys. There will be a test afterwards.
But you see that majority are vegetables, which is wonderful. So for sure this thing is healthier.
Yes.
And the only fat we use is going to be fat from the meat and the sunflower oil. I strongly suggest we use sunflower, not the olive oil, because olive oil is not it's not originally Ukrainian, so we don't use it so much in our cooking. I would say we don't use it at all.
Right. Yep. And your cooking is smaczno.
Smaczno. Exactly.
Very delicious.
Thank you. So you see a lot of things, but today we will. So all these things on this plate will go into borscht.
So you've got cabbage, red pepper, onion, and potatoes?
Yes. Okay, you see the potato look very pretty. And guess why?
Because they've been aging in the cellar with the fine wine.
Exactly. They basically are from my parents' vegetable garden, and they were picked up last fall.
Wow.
And they still survive.
Desperately trying to reproduce like the rest of us.
Yes, exactly. And also this is something that I know so popular with Americans.
Right.
And this is beetroot.
Okay.
It's already cooked. I just bought them cooked, and they are super sweet, but super, you see, it's like if you touch them for some while, you will have your fingers and nails
dyed red, yes.
So all these products, we can forget about that because it will go later stage 2.
Okay.
So for now, we will use only meat, a bunch of green stuff, and in Ukraine we have 2 traditional herbs, yeah, which is, now let's see how Ukrainian you became.
Dill.
Wonderful, but it's not over yet, and...
Oh, my grandmother's going to be angry. I can't.
You can do it. The first letter is P.
I forgot.
Parsley.
Gosh, somebody shoot me before I reproduce. All right, boys, that was parsley.
Also, we will need these 2 things, which is carrot and onion.
To make the broth.
To make the broth, and that's basically it. So you can be very generous with the garlic. As much as you want. You can take two kind of like, what is it, a head?
Yeah.
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 And also this wonderful thing that we use generously in Ukraine, and this is bay leaves.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so.
All right, we'll switch over in a second.
All right.
So what do you have here?
So it's a pot full of water, not filtered, which is not so good.
Aha! Unfiltered water.
But you will...
Straight from the Dnipro.
Straight from river Dnipro, but you will survive. Okay.
After you cook it and eat it, no one will know. Okay? So what are you going to do here?
All right. It's a little bit too much water.
What?
Too much water.
I'll take it out.
Okay. All right. So you're ready? Because this is the easiest part and I can trust you with this.
I'm a slow but steady learner.
Okay. So we have meat. And I already washed it. If you want, you can cut, but we can leave it like that. And now the next, you see what I use? I just use the paper and I just put all the leftovers here and I just throw it in the garbage. So this saves me time
Nice.
on cooking.
Good idea.
Yes, thank you very much. So yeah, so you take a knife and you kind of like.
Oh, okay, so you're going to clean the onions, the carrots, the garlics.
Yeah.
And then,
Which one you feel most comfortable doing?
let me see.
So also you have this, but you don't need even a cutting board.
So shall I, you like to take the skin
Right
off?
here,
Oh, okay, you like to take the skin off?
you can also cut it, don't worry, like you can cut it as a potato.
Like that, or no? Or too thin?
I mean,
Better show me.
you see Americans.
Yeah, yeah.
This is, I said you can cut it as a potato, and this is how what I mean, not cut it, but peel, I should say, like this.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
No, you have to do that. That's the Ukrainian way.
yeah, you don't use it in
I'm too unskilled for that.
you see, we are not on the...
Yeah, you are. Oh,
Yeah.
our faces are not.
Maybe we
You
should...
wanna pull it back?
Maybe we should put like this, and so just our hands would do this.
We're back with the Queen of Borshch.
Yes, exactly. So I'm doing this the way my mother would strongly disapprove, because there are special tools for doing this. But since I moved here recently, a few months ago, I just took the basics with me. And of course, the basics is just one knife. So this is how the whole thing, and you just kind of like drop it there. That's it.
Nice.
So this thing you take, and one more time, I'm not the professional cook, but you know, the years of practicing, you kind of like figure out what is the easy way.
And most of these vegetables will come from Grandma and Grandpa's garden. So everything's generally grown organic in Ukraine.
Yes.
By all these families.
So you can look, you can show, it already looks so nice.
I don't know, that looks a little erotic. This could end up being a PG-13 cooking channel.
Now you have the ingredient that the Ukrainian kitchen basically is based on, and it's garlic. So you can do piece by piece, or you basically can wash and just drop the whole thing literally, because it's gonna boil, and it's kind of like completely harmless to put the whole thing, especially when you have the young one. So what I do something like that, and again.
Oh, that's right. That young garlic is really tasty.
Yeah.
And not so strong.
Do you eat a lot of fresh garlic in America?
I do, but then we spend a lot of time in China where they eat raw garlic all the time.
So you see, this basically, veggies, you can see them right there. And you see, I'm being like very lazy, but this is my life hack, and I just do like that and put it in the garbage, and voila, you have a clean kitchen.
Nice. And a good tip for the American bachelors or the Ukrainian male cooks.
Now the most beautiful part, of course, is this meat. And are you interested how much was this meat?
Sure.
So it was like 80 hryvnia, which is like $2. I don't know. What
So we're talking budget borscht
budget, cheap as a borscht.
by the Queen.
Okay, so now the part that is like final, and of course you don't have to do that, but these are the bay leaves, and again you see I'm kind of like being very generous. Also you can put is it called?
Pepper.
Pepper, yeah.
Peppers?
Ideally should be like the uncrushed, but I like the sound.
Yeah, I do too.
And,
Every kitchen or cook needs a good grind.
and then don't get scared, but I just take like half of these things, and it's like half of this, half of this. I washed it very well, and it goes like this.
And that's everything you need for the borscht. Almost, right?
So you see, it looks perfect already.
That's for the broth. We're going to make the broth.
That's the broth, yeah. So this beauty, you cook for up to you. You can give it 2 hours or 3 hours. So what I do, I turn it on, and
What, like medium, high?
you have to bring it to the boil, and then I put on minimum, and then it's like for
This is the master class in cabbage treatment for the borscht.
you see, I don't even wash the cabbage.
Brudny.
This is something that I mean, you can do it, but basically, so you do it like you cut it in half and then half in half, and now this is the way I do it. And I don't know if this is a professional way, but you see, I kind of like.
So you're really shredding the cabbage.
Yeah, I don't know there are these machines that you shred it, but you see.
Well, I thought we called that a Ukrainian woman.
But I find this pacifying when you do like basic stuff, you see, and then this is the point of cooking, not just to do some food, but
And do it fast.
and do it fast. But it's kind of like you enjoy the whole process.
I think it is. It's a form, not of meditation, but it's very pleasing to chop and slice and dice. And in fact, in China, they spend hours putting together jiaozi and these dumplings and rolling them and sticking the fillings of minced pork and other things inside those dumplings. And everything in China like that is hand cut like you're doing. And there's something to be said for going a little slower and having a conversation, if assuming your conversation is intelligent.
Very often I just put the phone here and listen to some video or music and just do this chopping.
And I see you've trimmed some of the potato already, skinned it, and put it in
You
the
know,
bowl.
you can also do, like, if it's a nice, this is also good.
That's the core.
This is something,
And then what do you have there? Red pepper?
I know it sounds strange, but yeah. So you kind of like finish everything, and you see, one again, I use this technique, just from
with the paper?
with the nice magazine from the. This is optional. You don't have to do the pepper, but I was thinking, why not? Since it's.
So just take
Since
a
I have
pepper,
it in the fridge, yeah.
take a pepper quart and then slice it in smaller bits.
Yeah, I mean, whatever, like you have to understand that it goes into your mouth, so if it's too big, it's not really...
Comfortably.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be perfect, it can be something... You can ask even your children to do this.
Yeah, my kids did a lot of chopping and slicing and dicing. That's why I had 4, so I had a ready supply of slave labor.
And you know, it smells so nice, you can also do like this. And
how long does this boil for?
3 hours, ideally.
Nice.
But if you put a chicken, it's ready in 1 hour.
Okay. And beef, 3 hours.
Yeah. I mean, ideally you want this broth that is like, wow. And you see what's happening right now already? You can see, you get this kind of like...
Foam.
Yeah. And the foam, it's better to get, you see, it's better to kind of like collect it and get rid of this. Because you don't want this foam to be in your wonderful sauce. So ideally you should have the stool that has the holes.
All right, a slotted spoon, I think.
It start boiling and you see, I mean, this is something that this foam, you can leave the foam, you can. But ideally you just kind of like do like this.
All right, so these are kind of the final ingredients, right? So,
The rainbow.
very nice. So potatoes on the left.
So I chopped potato, I mean,
Yeah.
kind of cubes, and they will go the first, because there is the particular order.
Okay.
The one product that takes longer to cook will go first.
Okay.
So they will go first, and this will go second.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, will go the green stuff.
And the red peppers and the onions will go after the cabbage?
And basically all this stuff, they will go first on the frying pan.
Oh, so this plate is going to go to the frying pan
Yeah.
with the chopped up beets and carrots.
Yeah, but these things, I will not cut with a knife,
Yeah.
but I will do an easy job for
grating.
you. So I will do it.
Ah. And what will you do with the beets? Will you chop them
The same.
or grate them?
The same.
Grate them.
I will grate the beets, and it's
Ooh.
very messy, so I will have to change the outfit. So
Into a new white chef shirt.
Exactly. So it looks like this.
Mm-hmm.
And why? Because it's first of all, it will be saute this.
And you use the sunflower oil
It
for
will
the
saute
saute,
faster.
right?
So I will grate this, and I will grate this, and all this thing except the green stuff will go in the frying pan to saute.
So grated carrots, grated beets,
Yeah.
onions,
Yeah.
and red peppers with the sunflower oil will go back into the boiling
Yeah, it looks like
broth.
this. You see?
After this boils for about 3 hours.
Oh, we forgot to do something.
Aha!
We forgot to put salt.
The magical,
Yeah.
just a couple small dashes of salt there.
Yeah.
Or did I say handfuls?
What do you think about all this process? Does it seem like too time consuming?
Not really. I think it's, I thought Borshch took a lot longer because the amount of cooking time, but I
Yeah.
think probably you could prep everything you're doing in 30 minutes or less, and then it's just the cooking time.
Yeah. And it's a ritual, you know?
Yeah,
It's,
and ideally, you men, if you're going to do this, you will have a beautiful cook in the kitchen with you. Right,
Yeah.
Tatiana?
Exactly. So your woman, she's like doing all the job, and the man is just staying there and kind of like orchestrating everything. This is how it works in Ukraine.
And giving good advice and making sure the vodka's
All
cold.
the time he has to suggest and advise, and this is like,
So any gentlemen that are living outside Ukraine now have a good reason to move to the war zone quickly.
and we are lucky that we don't have the, how do you call it, the Putin's lullaby now.
Putin, yeah, a couple nights ago we had Putin's lullaby right about dinner time. I was sauteing some chicken and salmon, and Putin's lullaby went off. That's the air raid siren. And I thought, no shit, really? Who has the bad manners to interrupt dinner?
Also, ideally, you should have a strong man to do this job, because it's kind of like it's a. We need some,
So you put the man into the muscle work.
exactly. So ideally, this is the part that our men do.
We'll hold that thought.
So I did kind of like the neat part, and I. And I trust you with the dirty job.
She suggested that the men do the more muscle work here in Ukraine between shots of vodka, and I agreed. And since I'm a tall, blonde Texan with a lot of muscles, well, I was born in Texas, so that qualifies me, I think. But you got to be careful because you can. I'm not used to using the grater.
Oh, really? So why?
So of course, no, like easy to cut your fingers, I think.
That's what I do all the time.
cut your fingers?
My nails. So
Oh.
sometimes you can see a bit of a nail chopped in the borshch. That's normal.
Hey, is this a piece of fish bone? No, that's Tatiana's nails. It's edible, you know.
But this is how you bond with your woman. You eat a little bit of hair from time to time.
Yeah. Well, I've eaten worse. Well, that would be pretty good, sterilized fingernail.
How does it feel to do this? Do you feel it comes some kind of?
Yeah, it's very nice. Actually, these kind of repetitive food tasks,
Yeah.
making something good, especially in a war zone where we have a lot of air raid sirens and a lot of incoming missiles, and we have great anti-missile defense, but it's very disconcerting, creates anxiety, let's say. And this kind of cooking for all you gentlemen also is very like therapeutic.
Exactly.
And if you do this, the women like you, and you know if the women like you, they're more giving. And
That's true.
And
Yeah.
that's good. Okay.
Yeah. I entirely agree with you. You can, yeah. So it's perfect. You did the perfect job. Absolutely. It looks wonderful. Wonderful. It's a pity that do you smell the bros? Do you smell what do you think?
Oh,
It's delicious, huh?
yeah.
It's divine.
Too bad we can't send the scent through the video.
Yeah, yeah.
This is a
Okay.
nice little tower of beets and carrots.
Yeah, I can trust you. You're so good. I can trust you with another important task, and you can put this what is that called?
Cabbage?
Potato into the broth. I mean, might be a little bit too early. Should we just? You know what? Let's wait. Let's do the proper cooking, so our audience will know that we're not faking.
Yes.
It's like a proper cooking.
Yes.
So we're gonna wait probably for another 2 hours and just chat.
I better go get another bottle of vodka.
Yeah, and I will charge my phone.
We're ready for the saute.
Yes, this is actually stage 2 out of 3 stages. So I put oil, and you see there is you kind of like cover. No, I think there is some kind of like, you kind of like, you put the thing first that takes longer. And
This is the carrot.
yes, so which is the carrot, exactly. Like the beets are already cooked.
Ah,
So
that's right.
they don't even need to go to, they don't need a lot of time.
Just long enough to heat
But
up,
you
really.
see, I'm being like very, a bit of, what is the word in English, salty? You know, not being so.
I think it's brudny. Brudny Jinka.
Really, you see, it's kind
Dirty
of,
girl.
ideally, it should be nice, only carrots, but what I want to show that Borshch is like a real thing, and you don't have to be so perfect.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I never liked beets growing up in America. Mostly, I think we had canned beets. But then I finally understood the borshch, which I avoided for years, was made from beets. So I avoided it. But when I finally ate borshch, I realized, wow, that is a delicious soup. And then I never used sour cream either. But they convinced me to use sour cream, and that really kind of complemented the whole dish. So how long do you saute that for, generally?
You see, and what I'm trying to...
Maybe 5 or 10 minutes,
Uh,
or a little longer.
are you kind of like, you will know when the onion is not so crunchy, but like
Yeah.
softish. And
So I guess like 5 or 10 minutes, probably more like 10.
10, yes, I would say 10.
Here we have the beet, onion, and carrots sauteing.
Exactly. I added a little bit of broth there,
And
just to...
children, don't try this at home. Tatiana is sacrilegiously using the metal spoon to shift the vegetables. All Ukrainian grandmothers will roll over in their graves. What do you have to say for yourself?
I'm not touching the bottom of the frying pan.
Always believe a woman, gentlemen. Okay, so what do we have next?
All right, so we know the broth will be ready in like 40 minutes, 30, 40 minutes. So what we take our potato and we send it to the broth.
To heaven.
To heaven, yeah. And you see, it immediately stopped boiling. So I turn it again. And
Turn it up.
Turn it up again. So eventually, what we will do, we will fish out
All the herbs?
all the herbs and everything that is not edible. But for now, I kind of like leave it here.
Okay.
So we also added more, what we added, salt.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's the good indicator when the broth is ready? The perfect indicator is when this onion, you see, it's already soft, but it will just fall apart completely.
Oh, nice.
And when the onion...
That's good for all us cooking dummies.
Yes. So when you see that it's falling apart, it means, yeah, it's time to... Yeah. So what we will do at the end, it will go the cabbage and this red stuff, they will...
All come together.
all come together. You let it boil a little bit more, 10 minutes, and then it's done.
Super. Okay, what are these last steps you're taking?
All right, so I got the cooked vegetables out. We will not...
And that's kind of Ukrainian tradition to prettify it because people can't eat a big onion or a big carrot. So
you can turn it into...
what'd you say? You got out of it what you needed?
Yeah, you can turn it into a separate dish for your husband. It's like a salad.
So it's like a good man. You take what you needed and then you throw it away?
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Remember that in Ukraine. We're in Ukraine. There's stricter rules here.
Yes, we are very, let's say, if it's not useful, if it doesn't play any more important role, you just dispose that.
And would that be in life or in the kitchen?
It's in relating to everything in Ukraine.
Okay. And then what did you add here?
So the potato, half of our cabbage chopped went there.
Okay.
Into our broth. And you see it's now it's half of the pot, and it's completely...
So it's boiled down.
Yes, it's completely normal. And you see it looks very pretty, very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have there? You have broth, you have potato, you have meat that we
Mostly chopped.
we forgot a piece of meat, but it's okay.
Yep. To
It's,
chop it. Forgot to chop it.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's totally fine. So we give it like 5 minutes.
Okay.
And then the last part would be this beautiful, beautiful, what would you call it?
I don't know, conglomeration of luscious vegetables.
Yes, it's super healthy, it smells divine.
It looks super. And that has onion, shredded carrot, shredded beet, and some garlic.
And some garlic.
And
yes.
salt in that or no salt?
I think we added some salt because the red beets are so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to turn them into vegetables by adding some salt.
Okay. Smaczno.
Smaczno. Tak. Taste it to the cabbage and it tastes that is cooked. So the final part is to take this whole thing and just put it there. That's why I didn't add water till now.
Okay.
Because now I will do something like that. You see? Now you can play. You can add. More cabbage here if you like cabbage, or you can like wash that. Yeah, because there is a lot of oil, and I mean you don't have to do it, of course. Yeah.
But it's tasty.
So you see, immediately what you've got the color.
A pretty red.
You got the color, and borscht, it's all about color. What we also could have done, and I forgot it, in this red thing, I could have added 1 tablespoon of apple or just normal vinegar. You wouldn't taste the vinegar, but vinegar would preserve our color.
Oh, so a little apple vinegar.
Yes,
Or vinegar.
so now You see, it's very thick. So it depends if you like a lot of vegetables in your soup. But they're good because they keep you. They give the impression that you're filled with the food.
And how long do you cook this for now that you've added the beets and onions and carrots shredded?
So basically all ingredients are cooked. There is nothing raw here. What you need, just let it boil. So
For how long?
I don't know, 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
We can also add our green stuff.
Oh, okay.
The trick with the green stuff is the later you add, the more color you preserve. Because the longer it boils, it turns from nice green into a little bit brownish.
Okay. So we wait.
So we can also, just for the sake of experiment, we can put right now, and then we
Half
can
of
put,
it, yeah.
we can put later, so you will see the difference.
Okay.
Because honestly, in the second or third day, they will all. You know what? I just do like this and forget about. Yeah. So we are
Nice.
doing this for the sake of taste, not the color. So you also can put there the onion, the green.
Green onions,
This long,
Slice them.
Yeah, and chop there. You can put more green stuff.
And what is this over here? You have the bread and the...
Okay. So this is already like a nice addition to Borshch. And this is the black bread. And this wonderful thing, it's salo, lard. And it's homemade. My mom, it's pork fat.
Pork fat. And then you slice it thin and eat it. And it also, I have the experience that it goes well with very cold vodka.
Yeah. And this is perfect for keto diet. If you do keto or keto, what is it?
You got me?
If you do keto diet, if you want to lose some weight, the real fat.
Eat pork lard.
Yes.
Thin. Actually,
Yes.
and it's spiced too. So it's a little salty and spicy.
Yes.
And it's oddly one of those things that tastes pretty good.
It's wonderful. So I'll show you.
Okay, yes, show us how.
Here is the real skin, pig skin. So you see, now it's boiling a little bit too much, and I don't want too much. It's
So
dangerous.
we just keep it at a low boil the whole time.
Yes, exactly. So this is very important because we lose the color if it's vigorously boiling. So I got it from the fridge. It was frozen, and let me see if, yeah, oh, yes, exactly. Okay.
So that's about the right, is that about the right width?
Yes, so the thinner you cut, okay, let me just,
Yeah, that's good.
the thinner you cut, the tastier it is. You can also eat
It's
it.
almost like cheese too then.
Yeah, yeah. So here's the, you try the piece right now, and I will try the piece right now. And that goes like that. What do you think? Sometimes you can.
Always delicious, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is what is salo. And now we wait another 5 minutes for our borscht. And then I will serve it properly, how we eat it in Ukraine.
Nice.
So
The next to final step.
this is the moment. So this is our borscht. If you want, you can show this beauty, this burst of color. And you see, it's pretty thick. And you can just take whatever. You have to know what your man likes. Sometimes men like more broth, so you put more. So what do you prefer?
Thick.
Okay. Meat or no meat?
Meat.
Meat, okay. So what we do,
Smaczno.
smaczno, yes. So the more you love your husband or man, the more meat should go. So I start with the piece of meat, and then I try to take the way so everything will go. So One. And then, so on the top there is fat. So if I just go like this on the top, I will collect a lot of fat. And I'm okay with this because you like, I'm sure you will not mind, a little bit of sunflower Ukrainian oil. And it's so hot. So this is how I would serve it to you. So I put it here, but this is not done yet. And now, будь ласка.
So a little sour cream on the top. And this balances the acidity of the beet and the other goodies in this delicious Ukrainian concoction. Mix it up a little bit. And don't forget you've got the sallow with the bread here. That's quite delicious. And then you just take a little bit, because it's hot. Smaczno.
Wow, it looks very good. Very good. And super healthy. Super healthy. When you feed your man with this healthy food, you're happy, he's happy.
And everyone's happy. And send the kids to bed early.
Yes. Thank you very much.